The film begins with a high school girl named Goria, who wins a scholarship to attend the fanciest school in Bangkok, called Kosar High School. One day, while Goria was in class, a new student named Hannah approached her and asked if they could be friends. Hannah had just moved from another country and was having a hard time making friends, so she thought Goria was really nice. Goria agreed to be friends and then warned Hannah about a mean group in school called F4. At that time, F4 consists of 4 rich students. They are Than, Ren, Kevin, and MJ. If any student gets into trouble with F4, they'll find a red card in their locker. Then, by chance, a male student found a red card in his locker, and he was immediately targeted and taken to the school's old stadium for a trial by F4. The girls in the school were super excited and impressed when F4 showed up. Among the F4 members, Thyme is the most powerful and can pretty much do whatever he wants. While the bullying was happening, Goria and Hannah went there to see what was going on. Even though Thyme seemed mean, Ren was actually the one in F4 who couldn't stand seeing people hurt, so he left the scene. When Ren was about to leave, he noticed Goria there, and they made eye contact. After Ren left, Goria was really upset by Thyme's terrible behavior. Unfortunately, Goria couldn't do anything about it. So in frustration, she went to the school rooftop and screamed. Surprisingly, Ren was there and woke up because of Goria's scream. Since Goria had a habit of doing this, Ren recognized her and gave her a sweet smile before she left. The next day during lunch break, Goria and Hannah talked about a rich girl named Mira, whom they both admired. Mira is a senior at F4 but is currently studying in France. Then, as Hannah was about to leave, she accidentally spilled food on Thyme's shoe. This meant that Hannah would probably get a red card from F4. There, she pleaded with Thyme to forgive her mistake and said she'd do anything to make it right. Thyme, with a sneaky smile, told Hannah to lick his dirty shoe. The students in the cafeteria cheered for Hannah, which made Goria lose her patience and stand up, banging the table. This caught Thyme's attention. Goria then approached Thyme and told him that this was all too much. Ren was quite surprised by Goria's courage, while Goria asked Thyme to forgive Hannah. Thyme, still smiling slyly, accepted Goria's apology. Thyme then walked over to Hannah and said she was lucky to have such a good friend. Finally, F4 left the scene. The next day, Goria received a red card, and all the students quickly recorded the moment and shared it in a chat group, making her the next target for F4. Goria got really mad, crumpled the card, and ran away. But mean students kept bothering her, following her around the school. They threw basketballs at her to make her stumble and poured water on her head to make her all wet. Fed up, Goria went to the school roof and shouted in frustration. Surprisingly, she met Ren again, who was watching her scream. At that time, Ren told Goria to dry off with a black cloth on the table, but she just walked away. So Ren grabbed her and covered her mouth because the bullies were looking for her. They asked Ren if he saw Goria, but he lied and said she wasn't there. Finally, Goria was safe. There, Ren advised her to stay hidden on the rooftop until he got home from school. After Ren left, Goria took the black cloth and found a painting of herself screaming. She glanced at Ren, who had already left. Long story short, Goria had to hide until late at night. She went to the locker room to get her bag, but the bullies were still there waiting for her. They even tore her clothes and made her cry and scream in fear. Luckily, Ren came to the rescue again and told the bullies to stop hurting Goria. Afterward, Ren gave Goria a cloth to cover her torn clothes while she was still crying. Ren sat down and watched Goria as she continued to cry. There, Goria mentioned that she couldn't go home because her enemies were waiting for her outside. In the end, Ren caused a little commotion to distract the bullies and keep Goria safe so she could go home. The next day, Goria didn't find a red card in her locker anymore, but her troubles weren't over. The bully students who were actually working for Thyme purposely stole Goria's precious shoes and took them to the old school stadium. At that time, Thyme was waiting there for Goria and then damaged her shoes with a knife. Goria felt really sad when she saw her broken shoes that her mother had given her. After ruining her shoes, Thyme tossed them in the trash. Tears in her eyes, Goria wrapped the damaged shoes around her feet and put them on. Soon after, Thyme approached her, warning her not to challenge him again. But all of a sudden, Goria kicked Thyme with the damaged shoes, causing him to fall. There, she stared at Thyme while holding onto his clothes and said she wouldn't back down from fighting him from now on. In that moment, Thyme stayed quiet while looking at Goria, and Ren and the others were impressed by Goria's courage to stand up to Thyme. The next day, Thyme secretly took Goria to his house. When they arrived at Thyme's place, he made Goria look nice and dressed her up. Goria was admiring herself in the mirror and playing with her hair when Thyme suddenly appeared, startling her. Goria got angry and demanded to know why he did this. Thyme explained that he invited Goria to talk. He offered her expensive things in exchange for making a video apologizing to him. However, Goria turned down the offer, and they ended up arguing. Soon after, Thyme's strict mother, Rosalind, arrived. Thyme fell silent and looked at his mother. Soon after, Goria went back to school and was still bullied by classmates. This frustrated her, so she went to the school rooftop to vent. After expressing her anger, she noticed the spot where Ren usually rested. Goria was relieved to see that Ren wasn't there, but suddenly he surprised her from behind. Ren said he had heard all the things Goria shouted earlier. He invited her to chat, which made Goria blush. The next morning at school, Hannah received a red card, and Goria found out about it and quickly met Hannah at the school's old stadium. Hannah was in tears after being bullied by Thyme's friends. MJ, who didn't agree with Thyme's behavior anymore, chose not to be part of the bullying. At the same time, Kevin gave a disapproving look when he saw Thyme's friends about to shave Hannah's hair. Suddenly, Goria arrived and stood up to protect Hannah. Goria firmly told Thyme that he should only be mad at himself. Thyme was actually happy because he had planned to get Goria to meet him. He slowly approached her while taking a razor from his friends. Thyme told Goria to shave her own hair if she wanted to save Hannah. Annoyed, Goria took the razor and called Thyme a spoiled rich kid. Just as Goria was about to shave her hair, Ren showed up and saved her. Thyme looked annoyed and left. Soon after, F4 waited at the airport for Mira to arrive. When she did, Ren hugged her right away. Meanwhile at school, the students who had mistreated Goria suddenly asked her to reconcile and invited her to Mira's welcome home party. But in reality, they just wanted to embarrass Goria at the party. In the end, Goria went to Mira's party with her best friend named Kaning. The bullies at school insulted Goria's appearance, and she decided to leave the party. But just as she was about to go home, F4 arrived, so Goria had to stay. She ended up sitting quietly by the pool and noticed Ren looking romantic with Mira. This made Goria jealous. At the same time, the mean schoolgirls started bothering her again. At that time, Thyme secretly washed Goria. Fortunately, Ren came to her defense and gave her a handkerchief. Mira, who saw what happened, got annoyed and threw beer on the girls and pushed them into the pool. Afterward, Mira took Goria to her room to change clothes. Goria looked beautiful, and all the guests were amazed. Then Mira introduced Goria to Ren, who was waiting to dance with her. Thyme, seeing this, felt jealous and bumped into Ren. However, Mira got angry because Thyme caused a scene at her party. There, he scolded her and pushed her down. Ren, annoyed, attacked Thyme, and they started fighting. This made Goria try to break up the fight, but she accidentally pushed Thyme to the ground, and they accidentally kissed. In that moment, Goria and Thyme panicked, as did the other guests. Thyme, embarrassed, left immediately, while Goria stood there, holding her lips. After the incident last night, Thyme actually seemed happy, thinking that the kiss meant Goria liked him. At that moment, MJ and Kevin, who were with Thyme, advised him to apologize to Ren. But Thyme was stubborn and refused to do so. Meanwhile, Ren was alone with Mira, painting her as she drank tea. During their conversation, Mira revealed that she was going back to France for her studies, which annoyed Ren. When Goria came home from school, she went to Mira's house to return the dress she had borrowed the previous night. There she accidentally overheard an argument between Mira and Ren about Mira's decision to study in France, which seemed to strain their relationship. The next morning, Goria waited for the bus while reading comments on social media about Ren and Mira potentially breaking up. Unexpectedly, Thyme sat down next to her wearing sunglasses. Goria became suspicious and asked why he was taking the public bus. Thyme was trying to get closer to her, so he had taken the public bus to approach her freely. However, this angered Goria because Thyme's actions prevented others from using public transportation. Unbeknownst to them, Thyme's older sister, Tia, was following them in her car. When Goria asked to get off the bus, it suddenly braked because Tia's car blocked its path. Then Goria took the opportunity to escape and ran away, while Tia got out of her car and kicked Thyme, preventing him from chasing after Goria. Meanwhile, Goria, who was feeling confused, was pleasantly surprised by Tia's cool demeanor. Tia then took Goria to her car and introduced herself as Tia. She mentioned that Thyme had never pursued a girl like this before. After that, Tia instructed her driver to take Goria to school. With a warm smile, Tia looked at Thyme and said she wanted to talk to him. Tia and Thyme shared stories on the bus. She advised Thyme to stop fooling around and start thinking about their mom's business. She believed that Thyme had matured a bit, thanks to Goria. Then, at the airport, Thyme, MJ, and Kevin accompanied Mira as she was leaving. Goria also came to bid farewell. Goria felt sad because Ren wasn't there with Mira. However, Ren arrived a bit late and Goria scolded him for it. Surprisingly, Ren gave Mira a surprise by announcing that he would go to France with her. Afterward, Ren affectionately touched Goria's head, kissed her, and thanked her, which irritated Thyme. But Ren just walked past Thyme, and Thyme approached him, scolding him. However, Thyme felt a mix of sadness and annoyance because Ren didn't inform F4 about his departure. Thyme also apologized to Ren for the first time. During break time, Thyme announced that he had invited Goria to meet at Ferris Wheel in Asiatic at 1 p.m. on Saturday. At that time, Goria didn't say anything and just watched the announcement quietly. On Saturday, Goria felt unsure and decided to go shopping with Koenig instead. But by chance, she saw a TV broadcast where Thyme talked about a girl. Listening to the broadcast, Goria couldn't stop thinking about Thyme's invitation. It started raining heavily a little later, and Goria continued to ponder Thyme's words from the TV broadcast. There, Thyme mentioned that he wasn't the kind of guy who chased after girls, and he didn't like waiting. However, if the girl was important to him, she could change his rough act forever. Even though the rain poured, Goria kept checking the time, which showed it was already 4:30 in the afternoon. At that moment, Goria rushed to the meeting place and found Thyme standing there in the rain, waiting for her. After that incident, Thyme caught a cold from waiting in the cold rain, so Goria offered him some hot drinks and tea. There, Thyme didn't thank Goria but got upset instead because he had never had cheap tea before. When Goria tried to take the tea back, Thyme snatched it and drank it all at once. Later, he took her for a walk, thinking it was a date, but Goria didn't see it as their first date. Soon after, Goria received a piece of paper from a bear mascot. Surprisingly, Thyme got upset when the mascot tried to hug Goria. Thyme stopped the mascot and told it to hug itself instead. Then, Thyme read the advertisement on the bear's paper, and it left him speechless because it was promoting a romantic date to watch the sunset. They went on this date, but it ended with Thyme feeling sick and vomiting, making Goria feel guilty. They'd also got stuck on the emergency stairs. It happened that Thyme hadn't eaten all day and became unwell. When Thyme tried to lean on Goria, she pushed him until he fell. Unexpectedly, Thyme had a fever, so Goria insisted that he take some medicine she had with her. Initially, he refused because it was cheap medicine. However, Goria was concerned and made him take the medicine, resting his head on her lap. After giving him the medicine, Goria checked Thyme's forehead several times to make sure his fever was going down. She also used a towel to cool him down. Meanwhile, Thyme was fascinated by what Goria was doing for him. During this time, he promised that he would put an end to the red card game at school. Goria, upon hearing this, was very grateful and happy. The following day, they finally got out of the emergency stairs. Afterward, Thyme escorted Goria home and took something off her head, which made Goria nervous because Thyme was so close. As he was about to leave, Thyme asked Goria out on another date. Playfully, Goria declined. After Thyme left, Goria went into his house. The happiness he felt while with Thyme turned into sadness when he learned that his father was in trouble due to debt. Soon after, Goria met with the man who held the debt to negotiate. There, she insisted on repaying the debt in installments. However, the man suggested that Goria work at his club to settle her father's debt. With no other choice, she reluctantly accepted, but with the condition that no one could touch her. The following school day, Goria's phone suddenly broke, and all the students looked at her strangely. Confused, she hurried to a wall area, where she was shocked to find photos of herself at the club spread and displayed on the wall. Shortly after, Thyme arrived to see the photos of Goria. There, Goria tried to explain, but the impulsive Thyme became emotional, even though she had asked him to trust her. At that moment, Thyme expressed her disappointment by shouting at Goria, which made her irritated, and she pushed Thyme away, thinking of her as a snobby girl. Eventually, Thyme demanded that Goria confess. There, Goria admitted to it, and Thyme's heart was hurt because she believed her first love wasn't a good person. While Goria felt confused and frustrated, she called Koenig to discuss who might be behind all this and asked for her help. Meanwhile, Kevin was also suspicious and didn't want anyone to think that F4 members were easily fooled. Hearing that, MJ agreed with Kevin, so they both decided to help Goria. In the evening after school, Goria and Canning went to the nightclub, but they were kicked out. By chance, Canning bumped into Kevin, and they asked each other why they were there. However, Kevin pretended not to know and said he just wanted to have fun. It was the second time Kevin had met Canning cause they had previously crossed paths at Mira's party. According to Kevin, Canning is a beautiful and charming girl, but Canning knows that Kevin has a reputation as a flirt. There, Kevin also advised Goria and Canning to go home. In reality, Kevin was known as a flirt and could easily charm many girls. However, he used this reputation to start his investigation. Kevin asked the girls in the club about the presence of CCTV cameras and if they knew Goria. His actions were noticed by the club's security guards, making the girls uncomfortable because Kevin was breaking the club's rules. Soon after, a fight broke out, and Kevin's martial arts skills were impressive, leading the club's owner to wonder who was causing the commotion. Upon discovering it was Kevin, the owner didn't get angry because Kevin was an honorary customer there. Meanwhile, Thime was feeling down, which worried MG. Their MJ tried to comfort Thime but couldn't get her to open up. Eventually, MJ left Thime alone and watched her from a distance. Suddenly, MJ noticed a girl he knew from school, Hannah. Shortly after, Hannah approached Thime, who was surrounded by two other girls. Hannah asked the two girls to leave and then gave Thime a drink mixed with sleeping medicine. Thime, already feeling tipsy, finished the drink. Meanwhile, MJ continued to observe Hannah and Thime but was briefly distracted. MJ panicked when he realized that Hannah and Thime had disappeared. Meanwhile, in another place, Goria is staying at Canning's house. While there, Goria accidentally came across Hannah's social media post featuring Thime. This distracted Goria from listening to Canning's story about Kevin, which led Canning to scold Goria for not paying attention. At that moment, Canning sensed that Goria was feeling anxious and asked what had happened between Goria and Thime. Canning noticed that wherever Goria went, Thime was always there with her. Goria finally admitted that she was frustrated with Thime because he didn't trust her. Canning realized that Goria was beginning to develop romantic feelings for Thime. On the other hand, Hannah took Thime to a hotel room. She also took control of Thime's phone and seemed overly obsessed with him. Hannah even considered kissing the unconscious Thime but changed her mind when she heard Thime mention Goria's name, which upset Hannah. Meanwhile, Goria had a sleepless night, feeling restless. The following day at school, Goria's chair was suddenly vandalized by a bully student, even though it was Hannah who replied to the chat. The bully student quickly informed their friends through the school chat group, and they planned to attack Goria together. At that time, Goria happened to come to school on Canning's motorcycle and tried to protect it from being targeted by the students. Unfortunately, her efforts were in vain as Canning's motorcycle was still damaged. Unable to tolerate it any longer, Goria fought back against the bullies. At the same time, Thime woke up from a half-asleep state and was a bit confused. He wondered where he was, so he opened their curtains to look outside. Then he suddenly remembered Goria. Soon after, the mischievous Hannah hugged Thime and told them to forget about Goria. However, Thime felt uncomfortable and quickly let go of Hannah's hand, trying to find their cell phone. Hannah also shared her feelings that she had kept secret for a long time. Turns out, when they were in elementary school, Thime had rejected Hannah because Hannah didn't feel attractive. So Hannah was really determined to win his love. Every day, she collected articles about Thime, until they eventually got plastic surgery in high school to try and make Thime fall in love with her. Later on, Hannah confessed that she had intentionally spilled food on Thime's shoes back then to get closer to him. But Goria ended up ruining all of Hannah's plans and won Thime's love instead. That's why Hannah came up with a plan to ruin Goria. In fact, she even threatened to harm herself if she didn't become beautiful, thinking it was pointless to be attractive if she still couldn't win Thime's love. This resulted in Thime injuring their hand due to these threats. However, he also offered some advice to Hannah after that. After Thime checked what was on his phone, he was really surprised and rushed to school. At the same time, Goria was upset and yelling because someone was planning to set fire to Canning's motorcycle. Just when things were getting rough for Goria, Thime suddenly appeared and stood up for everyone. He told them to leave, and Goria, who was feeling weak, almost fell down, but Thime caught her and carried her gently. Thime also said sorry to Goria for not trusting her and hurting her. His apology made Goria cry, and she hugged him tightly, tears soaking Thime's clothes. Then secretly, he took Goria to his house and asked his servant to get a first aid kit. While they were tending to each other's injuries, Thime gently touched Goria's cheek and continued to apologize. He felt really bad because Goria got involved in his problems because of his actions. There, Goria smiled when she saw Thyme changing for the better. As they chatted, Goria, who had been awake all night and was exhausted, fell asleep. Thyme offered his leg as a pillow, and he confessed his love to the sleeping Goria, asking her to be his girlfriend. The next morning, Thyme's housekeeper had prepared a school uniform and shoes for Goria and asked her to choose a new motorcycle. Goria called Thyme to find out where he was, but Thyme didn't answer right away. Instead, he told Goria to pick any of the new motorcycles. Goria was unsure which one to choose, so Thyme eventually told her to take all of them. Thyme explained to Goria that he was dealing with yesterday's incident caused by Hannah. He also asked MJ to discipline the kids who had attacked Goria at school the previous day. The next day, Goria tried to talk to Hannah with a sad expression, but Hannah didn't listen and walked away. Thyme noticed Goria looking disappointed and sad. When he got to the school cafeteria, he publicly declared that Goria was his girlfriend and warned everyone not to harm her, or they would have to face him. Goria was shocked by Thyme's words, and just then, they were surprised by Ren's return from France. At that time, Ren noticed Thyme and Goria being excited too. Goria wanted to find Rendy Rooftop to return his handkerchief. However, Ren surprised her from behind, which was unusual because he usually spent his time drawing but now was on his cell phone. The arrival of Rain made Goria nervous, so she quickly returned his handkerchief and left. In the evening, Goria ran into Ren, who was in front of Mira's advertisement. They started talking, but the ads disappeared. Goria was curious about Ren's time in France and his relationship with Mira, but Ren, trying to hide his feelings, said they were happy and everything was good. However, Ren's changed behavior confused Goria, and he mentioned he had changed. This startled Goria, and she ran away, accidentally leaving her phone behind. At home, Goria couldn't stop thinking about Ren's drastic change, which stressed her out. Suddenly, Fine Video called her on her brother's phone. Goria confessed that she had left her phone at the flower shop. Over time, Goria noticed that Ren's attitude had changed a lot after coming back from France. Ren became moody, flirty, and unstable. Then, Thyme approached Ren to ask for advice on what to wear for his date. Hearing that, Ren laughed and offered to help Thyme choose an outfit the next day. However, Thyme found Goria's phone on Ren's chair by accident, and Ren explained that it had fallen there during their meeting. Later, Ren received a package from Mira, and it contained his sketchbook that he had left behind. But when Ren read the note Mira wrote, he was really sad. There, she expressed her hope that Ren would find someone new who is better for him. The next day at school, Goria, who didn't have a cell phone, was confused by students gossiping. She found out that the gossip was about Mira having a new boyfriend in France and got worried about Ren. Soon after, Goria hurried to the rooftop, where she found Ren upset. She apologized for not knowing what happened earlier and for encouraging Ren to pursue Mira. Ren admitted that his world and Mira's were different, and loving someone doesn't mean they're meant to be together. It was a painful truth for him, so he decided to leave Mira's life and go home. Hearing that, Goria cried, and Ren comforted her with a smile, hugging her. Surprisingly, Thyme saw Goria and Ren hugging from a distance, and it made him really jealous. So Thyme decided to take out his anger on some innocent students, even though they weren't involved in the situation at all. Meanwhile, Goria and Ren heard the commotion and found out that it was caused by Thyme. Goria tried to calm Thyme down, but instead, he kicked Ren out of their group at 4. This sudden decision left Kaven and MJ confused about what had happened. Thyme just walked past Ren, and Goria still tried to talk to Thyme, but he felt betrayed and returned Goria's phone rudely. In the end, Goria admitted that she had lied about leaving her phone at Canning's flower shop. But Thyme got even angrier because Goria sided with Ren. He was so upset that he almost hit Goria, which made her cry out of fear. Thankfully, Thyme stopped himself from doing it. Sadly, he said he would try to come to terms with the reality that Goria would never choose him. The following day, a sad Thyme locked himself in his room, holding onto Goria's pink towel as a reminder of her. However, his mom suddenly appeared and expressed disappointment. She felt that ever since Goria came into Thyme's life, he had been causing problems and eroding her trust in him. Meanwhile, Ren went to the flower shop to invite Goria for a walk, and they had a good time together. Back at Thyme's house, Kaven and MJ tried to comfort Thyme and explain that Ren was dealing with issues with Mira. However, Thyme didn't want to hear about Ren's problems, so Ren invited Thyme to meet at the school stadium. This led to a heated fight, and they ended up hurting each other. During the fight, Ren intentionally insulted Goria, and that's when Thyme confessed his true feelings, admitting that he really loved Goria. After this heartfelt confession, Ren and Thyme finally made up. Shortly after, Goria arrived, and Ren encouraged Goria to confess her feelings to Thyme. In this romantic moment, Thyme gently stroked Goria's head and hugged her, making Goria smile with happiness. The next day, Goria received many messages from Thyme, who now considered her his girlfriend. When Goria got home, he was surprised to find Thyme's mom waiting for him. Rosalind began the conversation by insulting Goria's small, smelly, and moldy house. She also assumed that Goria's intention in getting close to her son was to have a better life. Not only that, Rosalind asked Goria to leave her son's life. Upon hearing that, Goria's mom was offended by all these insults and ended up splashing water on Rosalind and kicking her out. As she was leaving, Rosalind warned Goria that no matter how hard she tried, she would never be good enough for her son. After Rosalind left, Goria's dad shared some bad news that his office had gone bankrupt, and they didn't have enough money to live in the city anymore. So, Goria's parents decided to move back to their hometown and make a living by gardening. Meanwhile, F4 was having a good time on Ren's yacht, celebrating their reconciliation. But Thyme was worried because Goria hadn't replied to his messages. A few days later, Thyme continued to search for Goria in class, called him, visited Goria's house, and left a letter at Canning's flower shop. On the other hand, Goria was working to earn some money and tried to stay away from Thyme. Goria, who was really tired, accidentally dropped the letter that Thyme had left for him. In another place, Canning told Kevin about what had happened to Goria. Kevin was surprised because he had no idea about any of this. After hearing Canning's story about Rosalind's threats and Goria's family's current situation, Kevin suspected that Goria's dad had lost his job because of Rosalind's actions. This bad news made Thyme furious at his mother for causing harm to Goria's family. In the end, Thyme challenged his mother, saying he would try to help Goria's family recover from the damage she had caused. Long story short, Thyme purposely bought a house near Goria's and showed it to Goria, expressing happiness about being neighbors. Thyme explained that he was aware of Goria's situation now. The next day, Goria received a package with beautiful dresses and birthday invitation cards from Tia. However, Goria didn't seem happy because she couldn't forget the hurtful words spoken by Rosalind. Nevertheless, Goria still wore a lovely dress and brought a cake she had made. Unexpectedly, Rosalind showed up to confront her. This made Ren, Kevin, and MJ glance at Goria, feeling concerned for her. In the end, Ren approached Goria and suggested that she should meet Thyme. However, Goria refused until Ren picked her up and made her the center of attention. When Thyme saw Goria, he excused himself from his guests and walked over with a happy smile to greet Goria. Thyme got closer to Goria, which made Goria feel shy. There he also asked about the prize, but their conversation was interrupted by an event initiated by Rosalind. During their conversation, a disruptive girl suddenly appeared, causing the invited guests to lose focus. The girl kept running until she accidentally bumped into Goria and fell down. At that moment, Rosalind announced that the girl was Thyme's fiancée, shocking all the guests, especially Thyme. Thyme's fiancée's name is Lyda. After his mother revealed the arranged marriage, Thyme got angry with her. Suddenly, MJ threw his car keys to Thyme to escape with Goria. However, amidst the chaos, with blinding camera flashes, Thyme grabbed the wrong hand and realized he had brought Lyda instead of Goria. This led to a fight between them. On the other hand, Rosalind intentionally insulted and hurt Goria by making Lyda proud. Ren, who understood how Goria felt, immediately cheered her up and advised her to trust Thyme instead of paying attention to Rosalind's words. The following day, when Goria returned home, she found Thyme had prepared lunch for her. Thyme explained that he was stressed due to an arranged marriage and contemplated hurting himself. Goria, seeing this, offered him a band-aid for his wound. Meanwhile, Kevin, MJ, and Ren were concerned about Rosalind rushing into an arranged marriage. The next day, Thyme woke up Ren and shared that he would be busy with work and asked Ren to look after Goria. In another place, Lyda and Goria went shopping together. Later, Lyda visited Goria's house and asked about her relationship with Thyme. Goria explained they were just friends, but then Thyme excitedly arrived, causing confusion and a fight between Lyda and Thyme. The next day, Lyda returned home after spending the night at Goria's place. Meanwhile, Thyme was busy with his company's work. When Goria visited him, Thyme suddenly hugged her and asked for her patience. He gently stroked her hair before leaving. Goria began to notice that they were growing apart day by day. Around the same time, shocking news broke about the death of Thailand's top businessman. This meant that a new company would take over the top spot. Coincidentally, Goria and Canning got part-time jobs to prepare for the businessman's funeral. However, they both found it strange because the ceremony didn't look like a typical funeral. In the end, Kevin explained that the businessman's funeral was actually a business strategy. After offering their prayers, Ren and Goria saw Thyme and Lita arriving together, making Goria realize that she wasn't the right match for Thyme. Long story short, Thyme wanted to talk to Goria, but he noticed that Lita had hurt her leg. Thyme gave Lita the bandage that Goria had given her the day before, and she was thankful for it. The next day, Goria was feeling sad and lost in thought. Ren approached Goria and explained that Goria's concern should be about Lita's feelings, not Thyme's. Goria realized this too. Later, Lita and Goria talked, and Lita revealed her feelings. At first, Lita wasn't interested in Thyme when she saw him on TV, but as she got to know him, she saw that he was a good person and believed that someday he could love her. She said this while holding the bandage Thyme gave her, which broke Goria's heart even more. The following day, Goria was surprised to find Thyme still in yesterday's clothes, waiting for him to wake up. Goria, who had given up on their relationship, complimented Lita and Thyme's harmony. This praise confused Thyme. At that time, Goria, tired of her relationship with Thyme, asked Thyme to be with the right person, which was Lita. She also asked Thyme to open his eyes and see their differences. Upon hearing that, Thyme asked Goria to remember their past experiences, but Goria couldn't hold back tears and said they couldn't be together anymore. In the evening, Thyme went to Lita's house. She wondered why he was there, and to everyone's surprise, Thyme confessed his feelings to Lita and asked her to be his girlfriend. He promised to try to love her and open his heart to her. Soon after, Lita immediately went to Goria and told her that Thyme wanted to be with her. Goria was happy to hear this, but underneath her smile, she felt sadness. Some time later, MJ, Kevin, and Ren discussed how Thyme and Goria had grown distant. Worried about Goria, Ren went to the rooftop and found her looking very gloomy. Goria, trying to be happy, asked Ren to help her study. While in the library, Goria saw a poster for a dance party and was shocked to see students rushing to the front of the school. Thyme unexpectedly arrived at school with Lita. At that moment, MJ, Kevin, and Ren were about to call Thyme when they were shocked to see Lita kissing him. Ren got concerned about Goria and checked on her. Goria, who saw the kiss, felt jealous, sad, and devastated. She chose to return to the library but was bothered by some mischievous girls. Fortunately, a student named Thalai came to Goria's aid. At that time, Ren saw Goria with Thalai and felt suspicious about what was going on. Later, Ren saw a group of students led by Thalai discussing something. Ren became curious and decided to take photos of the students to find out who they really were. The faces of these students seemed familiar to him. On the other hand, Goria was with Thalai. There, Thalai noticed that Thyme was following them and asked Goria to report the situation to the security guard. Thalai then stopped Thyme, intentionally portraying Thyme as a misbehaving and mean child in front of Goria. Thyme, however, suspected that Thalai was planning something. When Thyme tried to explain his suspicions, Goria arrived and scolded Thyme. There she said she trusted Thalai more. This upset Thyme greatly, and he thought that Goria was dating Thalai, calling her hurtful names. In response, Goria got angry and slapped Thyme, telling him to leave and never see her again. Before leaving, Thyme warned Goria that she would regret getting close to Thalai. The next day, Goria found another red card in his locker, which led to her being targeted by some mischievous students. Surprisingly, Thalai pretended to be a hero and tried to rescue Goria. However, Thalai intentionally created a conflict between Goria and Thyme by spreading false stories about Thyme. Then Thalai locked Goria in a place with other students who were ready to harm her. Meanwhile, some girls who used to bother Goria began to feel suspicious because Thyme had stopped playing pranks with red cards. Meanwhile, MJ and Kevin were preparing for a school dance when Ren showed them a photo of Thalai. Ren had a bad feeling and suspected that Thalai was leading an anti-F4 group. Then, Ren asked MJ to look into the matter and tried to contact Goria to confirm the situation. However, Goria's phone was not working, so Ren left MJ and Kevin and rushed to find her. Unbeknownst to Goria, she was taken to the old school stadium and getting hit. Goria managed to call Thalai and pleaded not to be hurt, but Thalai didn't come to her aid. Sadly, Goria was pushed and hit a pole causing her to faint. Thankfully, Ren rushed to Goria's side and embraced her tightly, giving a fierce and angry look to the mischievous students. Shortly after, Kevin called and Ren quickly informed him about Goria receiving a red card. Kevin was shocked and couldn't believe it, so he immediately instructed MJ to check the school's security cameras. Ren then carried Goria away from the scene. However, as Ren was about to leave, Kevin called and explained that the school's security cameras had been tampered with. Just as Kevin was about to reveal the culprit's identity, Thalay attacked Ren from behind, causing Ren to fall unconscious. Soon after, Thalay took Goria hostage and sent a photo of her to Thyme, who was with Lita at the time. Not long after, Thyme read a threatening message from Thalay, demanding that he come alone to save Goria or else she would be harmed. Upon seeing the threat, Thyme immediately went to the location where Goria was held captive, ignoring Lita. Shortly after, Thyme reached the destination and was confronted by a group of anti-F4 students who beat him severely. Thalay was delighted as he sought revenge. Witnessing this, Goria told Thalay that Puffa would be disappointed to see him seeking revenge in this manner. Puffa was the student who was beaten up at the beginning of the story after receiving a red card. However, one of the anti-F4 students got irritated and pushed Goria, causing him to fall. Meanwhile, Thalay continued to relentlessly beat Thyme. Just as Thalay was about to strike Thyme with a chair, Goria freed himself and rushed over to protect Thyme, taking a blow from Thalay in the process. Long story short, Goria eventually woke up after being unconscious for days. There she asked Canning about Thyme's condition, but Canning remained silent, causing Goria to worry. Soon after, Goria hurried to the nurse's office to ask about Thyme's whereabouts. Upon entering Thyme's treatment room, the atmosphere was somber, and Thyme was covered with a white cloth, resembling someone who had passed away. Goria cried and confessed her love for Thyme, expressing how much she cared for him. To her surprise, Thyme suddenly woke up and expressed happiness upon hearing her confession. Goria became annoyed and told Thyme that it wasn't the right time for romance, playfully hitting him with a pillow. Outside the room, Lita was seen holding flowers, planning to visit Thyme. However, she changed her mind upon hearing laughter coming from inside. Feeling heartbroken and upset, Lita discarded the flowers and left. Ren also updated Thyme on Puffa's condition, but suddenly Thalay surprised Ren from behind. Thalay mentioned his intention to continue seeking revenge by uploading a video of Thyme's confession, which he had secretly recorded in the warehouse the previous day. At that time, Thyme quickly had his team come over and took Thalay's phone. He challenged Thalay to proceed with his revenge immediately. Thyme pressed the upload button and assured Thalay that he would take full responsibility if Thalay couldn't forgive the F4. In the evening, Goria was kidnapped and brought to Thyme's house. Upon arrival, Thyme scolded his men for kidnapping Goria. He also shared the story about Thalay's threat to the F4. However, the issue had been resolved, and Thyme had apologized to Puffa. Upon knowing that, Goria felt relieved that the problem had finally come to a positive conclusion. After that, Thyme took Goria to see a shooting star outside. During this moment, Thyme surprised Goria by giving her a beautiful necklace that he had made himself. At that time, Thyme asked Goria once again to be his girlfriend, but she declined because Thyme was still involved with Lita. Thyme expressed his intention to have a serious conversation with Lita to end their relationship and engagement. He then requested that Goria hold onto the necklace until the time when he could confess his love to her again, after ending things with Lita. They began to playfully joke around and accidentally broke a flower vase. Unexpectedly, Lita arrived at Thyme's house and saw the two of them together. Lita was upset and demanded an explanation from Goria. Fortunately, a maid named Yi Pratt intervened and saved Goria. She explained that Goria had been hired as Thyme's personal maid, and Yi Pratt kindly offered Goria the job while Rosalind was away. The next day, Goria started working as a maid, and Thyme kept her company. One day, Goria injured her hand while working, and Thyme rushed over to check the wound. However, Goria remembered Lita's anger and pushed Thyme away. In the evening, Thyme tried to schedule a conversation with his mom, but Goria suddenly appeared. Thyme thought Goria wanted to chat, but she was actually setting the table for dinner. They were joking around when Lita surprised them, leaving them speechless. This time, Lita was unkind to Goria, insulting her for being a servant. She announced that Rosalind had given her permission to live with Thyme and told Goria to leave Thyme's house. Yi Pratt, concerned about Goria, asked her to leave her suitcase and go shopping. Meanwhile, Lita expressed her feelings through tears, declaring her love for Thyme and her desire to win him over, even resorting to showing her body to get his attention. However, Thyme remained uninterested, covering Lyda with a blanket and avoiding her gaze when she continued to cry and beg for his love. Lyda even resorted to bidding Thyme, frustrated that her efforts weren't working. The following day, Lyda met with her parents and Thyme. While they were discussing wedding plans, Thyme wanted to talk about something important. Lyda sensed what Thyme intended to say and quickly stepped in, stating that she wanted to cancel the engagement. She argued that Thyme's angry and rude demeanor didn't match her, and she made it clear to her parents that she didn't love Thyme. After her failed love story, Lyda desired a fresh start. She wanted to focus on loving herself and pursuing her dream of going to South Korea. Eventually, Lyda and Goria hugged, apologizing to each other. However, as Goria separated from Lyda, he realized that Thyme had disappeared. MJ quickly picked up Goria and put her in the car, only to discover that Thyme had been missing since morning because he was kidnapped by a four. In that moment, Thyme once again asked Goria to be his girlfriend, and Goria agreed, rekindling their romantic relationship. Meanwhile, in Singapore, Rosalind saw the news about Thyme's cancelled engagement to Lyda. The following day, Thyme dreamed of kissing Goria. Upon waking up, she scolded Thyme, thinking he had dirty thoughts. The next day, Thyme was hanging out with F4, but Kevin seemed unhappy because he had some issues with caning. Thyme also mentioned that his relationship with Goria wasn't progressing like a typical couple. So the three of them decided to plan a surprise party to help Goria open up to him. Later that evening, Thyme had a video call with Ren and MJ to discuss the surprise party for Goria. Unexpectedly, Goria was nearby, but Thyme didn't overhear their conversation since she was thinking about Caning's problems with Kevin. Kevin, who used to be a ladies' man, had completely changed and fallen in love with Caning. Thyme also shared Kevin's past with Goria. The next day, Goria received news that there was no information about Caning. This made Goria worried, and she tried to reach out to Caning. Suddenly, MJ appeared and took Goria to the swimming pool. Unfortunately, the surprise party failed because Goria was preoccupied with concerns about Caning. Not long after, Goria received a call from Caning and decided to leave the surprise party that Thyme had organized. At that time, Thyme was annoyed with Goria and asked her not to get too involved in Caning's matters. Thyme believed that Caning wanted to solve the problem on her own, and all of this seemed related to Kevin. Thyme also mentioned that he had talked to Kevin. Long story short, Kevin and Caning's problem was eventually resolved. The four of them headed home so that Thyme and Goria could have some alone time. At that time, Kevin dropped Caning off at her place, MJ rode his favorite motorbike home, and Ren was the last one to leave. However, Ren became suspicious when he saw many cars passing by Thyme's house. Meanwhile, inside Thyme's house, Thyme and Goria were doing something unthinkable because it was Goria's last day as a servant there. Thyme admitted he was still upset about the failed surprise party but promised to have more surprises for Goria. Goria also hinted at having a surprise for Thyme and suddenly kissed him. There he seduced her, and they continued kissing. After coming back from Thyme's house, Goria was puzzled to see Ren standing in front of her own home. Ren came up to Goria and told her to leave immediately, but she was too curious about what was happening at her house. To her surprise, her house was being destroyed, which made Goria very scared and confused. She started crying and tried to save the house. Meanwhile, Thyme received news from Jdrama that his mom had destroyed Goria's house. Shortly after, Goria got a call from Rosalind, who invited her to talk and sort things out. At the same time, Thyme arrived and took Goria's phone to speak with his mom. Thyme told her that she had gone too far and ruined other people's lives without admitting she was wrong. However, his mom responded by saying she was just playing games with Thyme at school, and she was giving Goria a red card. The next day, Goria shared with Caning and her dad that Rosalind wanted to break up with Thyme. But now, Goria is determined not to give up on their love. Impressed by her determination, Caning's dad offered Goria a temporary place to stay, and suddenly Thyme and others brought things and furniture for her. In the afternoon, Thyme and Goria supported each other, and they got carried away in a romantic moment. However, their romantic time was interrupted by teasing from the three F4 members. Meanwhile, at Thyme's house, his mom fired Jdrama, thinking she had helped Thyme and Goria's relationship. In another place, Thyme helped Goria at Caning's flower shop. When Goria entered the room, Jdrama called Thyme and told him that his mom had fired him. To make matters worse, all of Thyme's accounts were blocked by his mom, so he couldn't assist Goria. At that time, Gloria felt deeply hurt, seeing the people around her suffering due to Rosalind's actions. She even heard that Canning's dad had been fired from his job because of Rosalind's orders. In the end, Gloria rushed to meet Rosalind. When they met, Gloria initially said that she would leave Thyme's life, but then she asked Rosalind to give back the happiness of the people she cared about. Gloria also mentioned that even if she left, Thyme would still win in the end. Rosalind then showed Gloria some medical test results, revealing that she had terminal cancer. She tearfully explained that she would eventually die from the disease. Rosalind cried and asked Gloria to turn Thyme back into his old self, a cold-hearted person, for the sake of their family's company. Rosalind knew that Gloria's weakness was her caring nature, so she pretended to have cancer to make Gloria feel sorry for her. The conversation ended with a warm hug, and Gloria trusted Rosalind even more. Afterwards, Gloria called Thyme and asked to meet at the place where they had their first date. Thyme noticed that Gloria looked different, but Gloria denied it and explained that she had just met with Rosalind. She assured Thyme that her mother understood and the problem was resolved. As the weather turned cloudy and rainy, Thyme was surprised when Gloria asked to end their relationship. At first, Thyme suspected that Gloria's decision was because of pressure from his mother. However, Gloria denied this and revealed that she had received a check from Rosalind to break up with Thyme. However, Thyme didn't believe that Gloria would accept money from his mom at first. Gloria also admitted that she had been deceiving Thyme from the beginning, pretending to be nice just to get his money. Thyme couldn't believe Gloria would say such things until she took off the necklace he had given her and returned it. Even though Gloria didn't want to hurt Thyme, she felt she had no other choice. Her cries grew louder as she let the necklace fall into a drain. The next day, Canning was shocked to find that Gloria had left and quickly told Kevin. Gloria was on a train, crying over the precious necklace. Meanwhile, Rosalind was covering up her past lies, and Thyme was getting ready to study business in Singapore. A year later, MJ and Kevin became more popular on campus, while Ren continued his search for Gloria. He visited villages and asked residents about her whereabouts. Meanwhile, Thyme became the deputy CEO of his mom's group, managing the business in Singapore. However, Tia couldn't stand to see Thyme becoming more like her mother. Tia missed the way Thyme used to be when he was with Gloria. One day, Ren received a call from MJ, and they asked about each other's well-being. By chance, Ren saw Gloria on TV. Soon after, Ren immediately flew to Singapore to meet Thyme and told him that he had found Gloria and knew where she was. Ren explained that Gloria had been hiding in his village for a year and had not been active on social media. He also showed Thyme evidence of his investigation, revealing that Gloria was facing difficulties. However, Thyme didn't care and didn't want to hear about Gloria anymore because he was still hurt. He emphasized that his current life had nothing to do with Gloria, because she had chosen to accept money from his mother. At that time, Ren tried to remind Thyme that if Gloria had taken money from his mother, she wouldn't be living in such difficult circumstances. Unfortunately, Thyme still didn't care and asked Ren to leave the room immediately. There, Ren became frustrated, taught Thyme a lesson, and left. On the other hand, Gloria had just come back from the market when some people arrived at her house to collect debts. They even wanted to take valuable items from Gloria's house. In that moment, Gloria remembered the necklace Thyme had given her and tried to stop the debt collectors, imagining Thyme always protecting her. However, it was just a daydream, and she was awakened by her brother. Surprisingly, Ren arrived and claimed to be Gloria's boyfriend. He offered to pay off their family's debt of 230,000 baht. Gloria's parents were grateful and asked Ren for their house as repayment. Later, Gloria brought Ren a drink. Meanwhile, at the office, Rosalind was upset and worried because Thyme hadn't shown up for an important meeting. Thyme was actually discarding photos of Gloria that Ren had given him. Ren was enjoying the view of the sea and sketching Gloria. Gloria's brother approached Ren and shared information about Gloria's condition over the past year. In the evening, Gloria was searching for Ren, who wasn't in his room. Suddenly, Ren called Gloria and asked her to meet him at the bridge. Meanwhile, Thyme got kidnapped by someone else. When Gloria met Ren, he showed her a video and told her to watch it till the end because it had the answers she'd been waiting for. Surprisingly, the video showed Thyme tied up by Kevin and MJ, who were trying to change his mind. Thyme's mom had influenced him to do bad things. Kevin and MJ said that they understood Thyme's decisions were influenced by his mom because he was scared of betrayal. They advised him to believe in love and trust his own way of running his business. Ren, MJ, and Kevin were ready to support Thyme's plans because they really cared about him. This touched Thyme deeply. Kevin explained that Thyme could change the world his mom had created. There, Thyme cried and asked if he still had a chance to make his dreams come true. He also admitted that he still thought about Goria all the time. Upon hearing Thyme's confession, Goria couldn't help but cry tears of joy. Ren chimed in, saying he had heard a story about Rosalind having cancer. However, Ren denied it, assuring Goria that Rosalind had deceived them. Ren knew because all the F4 family members went to his family's hospital for treatment, so he was certain if an F4 member was sick. Excitedly, Goria asked Ren to go to Bangkok right away. The next day, Ren, MJ, Kevin, and Goria planned to meet Thyme at the office, but they couldn't use the main door, so they had to find another way inside. Meanwhile, Thyme had finished presenting his business plan. However, the investors remained silent and didn't respond, so Rosalind was about to take charge. Suddenly, one investor agreed with Thyme, and the others followed suit, which made Thyme very happy. At the same time, Thyme received a message from Kevin that Goria was entering the building. Tia also urged Thyme to go, so he was thrilled to meet Goria. But as Thyme rushed, he accidentally bumped into a mysterious man who seemed familiar. Shockingly, the man wanted to harm Rosalind because she had fired him, so Thyme sacrificed himself to save her. Tia and her mom panicked and rushed Thyme to the hospital. At that time, his condition was critical as he had lost a lot of blood, and his heart had stopped, preventing blood flow to his brain. In that moment, Tia was furious with Rosalind for not changing her ways. She tried to make her mom see the consequences of her actions, but her mom showed no remorse for what happened to Thyme. The next day, Thyme is still in a coma, and Goria is patiently waiting for him to wake up at Canning's place. Ren also came to support Goria during this time. Shortly after, Kevin called with news that Thyme had awoken from his coma. However, Thyme was being closely watched by his mother's bodyguards, so they couldn't visit him. In the treatment room, Rosalind got angry with the doctor because Thyme couldn't fully recover. Thyme had a brain injury, causing him to lose his memory of the past 4 years. Tia tried to comfort her mom, saying that Thyme was still alive, which was a blessing. She suggested this might be an opportunity to start anew with Thyme. However, Tia's words had the opposite effect on her mother. Rosalind decided to test Thyme's memory by showing him a photo of Ren, MJ, and Kevin. Surprisingly, Thyme remembered them, but he had no recollection of Goria at all. There, Tia scolded her mom for taking advantage of the situation, but instead her mom ordered the bodyguards to remove Tia from the room. Soon after, Goria arrived and tried to talk to Thyme, but when he heard her familiar voice, he got a headache. Finally, Goria managed to get closer to Thyme and tried to speak with him. However, Thyme told her to leave. Tia then ran over and hugged Goria, updating her on Thyme's condition. There, Tia explained that her mom was taking advantage of the situation and planned to stop Thyme's treatment to erase Goria from his life forever. Thyme was constantly monitored, and everything related to Goria was removed, including his phone and computer. At that time, Pratt, who had returned to work, was also not allowed to see Thyme, and even the F4 members couldn't reach him. Ren, MJ, and Kevin joined Goria in trying to find a solution. They came up with a plan to restore Thyme's memory while Rosalind was away. On the other hand, Rosalind decided to discard Thyme's medicine to prevent him from remembering his past. When Rosalind went to work, Pratt informed MJ that Rosalind had left, and the 2 guards outside Thyme's room were incapacitated by the maids. Thyme, who had just exited the room, noticed something strange. To his surprise, Goria had sneaked in and covered his mouth to prevent him from screaming. Goria started sharing their memories, beginning with their zoo date, showing selfies, and sharing their chat conversations online. Unfortunately, Goria's efforts hadn't yet brought back Thyme's memory. In fact, he spoke harshly and called for the guards. He even insulted Goria, calling her a loser, which annoyed her, and she kicked him, just like when he had damaged his shoes with a knife. In that moment, Thyme started to recall Goria a little, and his head began to ache as he remembered something familiar. But suddenly, Rosalind arrived and grabbed Goria's hand, throwing her out. Rosalind was furious that Goria had invaded her home and hurt Thyme. There, Goria tried to provoke Rosalind by saying she never loved her son. Upon hearing this, Rosalind was offended and slapped Goria before telling her to go out from the room. Meanwhile, Ren, MJ, and Kevin were patiently waiting for news from Goria about their mission. It rained heavily at night, but Goria didn't leave the gate of Thyme's house. Finally, Rosalind was a bit moved and approached Goria in the pouring rain. She was curious and surprised that Goria would do something like that. At that time, Rosalind still refused to let Goria enter and see Thyme, no matter how long Goria waited. However, Goria explained that she didn't want to see Thyme or talk to him. Instead, she wanted to talk to Rosalind. There, Goria realized that Rosalind had been dedicating her life to Thyme because she loved him deeply. She questioned what she had done all this time to ensure Thyme's happiness and success in leading the company. Unfortunately, Rosalind had forgotten something crucial, and it was Thyme's happiness. In that moment, Goria emphasized that she didn't mind if she never saw Thyme again cause she just wanted Rosalind to see her son smile. Suddenly, Thyme scolded Goria, who was crying and pleading for him to remember. However, Thyme asked Goria to stop fantasizing and leave. Before departing, Goria declared her everlasting love for Thyme. Seeing that, Rosalind remained silent, trying to understand the connection between Goria and her son. In the end, Rosalind realized that she had been wrong in how she had raised her son all this time. Then, as Thyme walked away, he noticed Goria's dropped necklace, which was a reminder of her. At that time, Rosalind observed his reaction and quickly instructed her assistant to open the gate. This emotional moment brought a sweet smile to Rosalind's face. Thyme chased after Goria and asked if he had ever given her the necklace. Goria claimed they were lovers, but Thyme still denied it, saying he had never had a girlfriend. However, Thyme soon got a headache and a fever. At that moment, Goria tried to give him medicine, and that's when Thyme finally regained his memory. At that time, Ren Shade and Kevin were thrilled to hear the news as their mission had been successful. A few days later, Thyme gave Goria a white dress to wear to the ball, but it got dirty because she was busy helping her parents. Then, Goria ended up going to the school dance in her regular clothes, but she received a red card that led her to the old school stadium. There, she got a surprise video call from Thyme, who seemed to be in a different location but was actually nearby. Thyme, along with F4, came out and he asked Goria to dance. The film ends. The moral lesson from this film is if you love someone, go after them, even if they have to go through amnesia first before they fall in love with you.